Hey there everybody, this is Cholera, bringing you set 2 of Samson Khan versus KTF. Like I was saying before, I'm going to be relatively quiet in these commentaries because I am living in an apartment building that does have a lot of rooms next to mine, so it's not because I'm not excited. I certainly am. I'll be trying to express it relatively quietly, but this should be an interesting game. This is a ZVZ between Great and... I'm sorry, not Great. Think about the next game. This is between 815 and Odin. 815 and Odin. 815, relatively quiet until just recently. He was known for his macro Zerg style, his expansion-heavy Zerg style prior to being kind of in a slump. Now he's back, and he's actually amassed a decent record for himself. He's about 61% ZVZ, and he is the yellow Zerg at the upper right. This is Odin here on the bottom right. Commentating a little bit late, so that's why I'm trying to be relatively demure. Odin, about 50% ZVZ, about 40% lifetime stats. He has a horrible record, Zerg versus Terran, which explains it. It's actually, I think statistically, it might rival Hyuk, who I try to mention in every cast, but Odin's is really quite horrible also. It's 5 and 21 for a whopping 19% win rate. That's actually worse than Hyuk's, I think. I'm going to check up Hyuk's. Just for my own edification, and for yours, for all you big Hyuk fans out there. Hyuk, no one can beat Hyuk. Hyuk is at 15.7% ZVT. So Hyuk is winning right now in the lowest Zerg versus Terran percentage competition. Anyway, it looks like Odin is going to scout... he is going to scout 815 first. He is on the bottom right, so he's moving his Overlord correctly, whereas Odin is not going to be able to scout for a little bit of time. Looks like both players are going to go for an Overlord first here, not going to go for a 9 pool, and that's a good choice on this map. This is a giant map, and we might be seeing a fast expand from one or both of the players. Certainly 12 pool or 12 hatch are both possible. We're seeing a 12 hatch actually coming from, looks like both players are actually going for a 12 hatch. So, like I said, this is an expansion friendly map, even in a Zerg versus Zerg. And that's certainly what both players are choosing to do right now. So it's going to be, a mirror matchup with a mirror build for a little bit of time. And I think, well, this is interesting. Both are expanding on the outside also, it seems. So both players choosing to take the outside base instead of the protected one, which would give them protection against lings. I am a little curious about that. I guess the protected one might be a little more vulnerable to air attack. Of course, that would be the 2 o'clock base for 815 and the 5 o'clock base for Odin. But they're both going to take the corners. I mean, it really wouldn't be that more vulnerable to air attack. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what the strategy is, but basically they're both are taking their exposed natural expansions. And it looks like both, of course, putting down the pool and mining gas here. Looks like we might be seeing one more drone from Odin. Yeah, they're showing us he's built one more drone. That is an important deviation, in fact, and it's because he's had the scouting information. So you guys see a factor that sometimes luck can have in StarCraft. As you can see, Odin was able to cheap out on the lings because he was able to scout 815's 12 hatch, so he realized he didn't need them so early. But 815's built 6 lings. And he's probably going to, once he figures out what exactly is going on here, he's probably going to put some pressure up against Odin. Odin will eventually need to build some lings. Actually, 815 building a good number there. That's 8 lings already. And we'll see how fast he gets his speed up. Both have gone for lair first. But, I mean, as you can see, luck playing a big factor here. Odin having an advantage because of it, because 815 has built a lot of lings, and yet he's being careful because he has no idea what kind of attack could be coming. It could be some kind of 12 pool attack, or some odd build. But at this point, I gotta think he's suspecting it's a mirror match because he hasn't seen any lings yet. So he's gotta know his opponent has gone slow also. But I'm a little surprised at 815. He's not scouting with his lings. I'd expect most players to go take a ling and run it around. Oh, it's because he's actually gone there with the Overlord. So he is going to be able to spot the 12 hatch. I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to identify what it is. And he is just going to try to count the number of lings present. It does look like Odin has equaled the number of lings. So doesn't look like 815 is going to go for anything. Odin bringing out a couple lings of his own. 2 lings just to go for some scouting information. And there's 815's Overlord flying away. Spire going up, of course, going to be the next tech. And I think the timing should be fairly similar, and it's going to come down to micro, as usual, in a Zerg versus Zerg. But a lot of links moving out for 815. We're going to see whether Odin, who I think has the intelligence advantage in this matchup, might... we'll see if he sneaks in a couple of lings, because he might have some out in the field. Although, no, it looks like he's brought all of them back in the defense of his natural. So this is going to be a close one here. 815, by the way, started is going to mine gas a little earlier, so that might give him an advantage. Although there is the second geyser going up for Odin. And 815's going to actually just retreat. He's definitely trying to figure out if he has enough. It looks like he's trying to goad Odin into losing a couple of lings because of the automatic attacking. There comes the air from both players. I think Odin was done a little bit before with that Spire. Shouldn't make a gigantic difference, but Odin has also built a large number of lings. I think he might actually outmatch the force here from 815. So 815 is actually retreating. I'm not sure if that's a great position, though. He's not really able to take advantage of a concave in this position. Man, I gotta think this is actually a pretty, well... It looks like he is going to be able to get a couple of some choke points, although it looks like Odin has managed to win on the top there, and he might get some of these drones. Is he going to get... No, Odin does not get any drones. Wow. So 815 defends very well there, and 815 is choosing to build just Mutalisks, and this has got to be an advantage over Odin's Scourge mix, because Odin was building more lings, so he didn't have the minerals for mutas, and if 815 has decent muta micro skills, which it seems everyone has nowadays, you should be able to pick off all these Scourge without so much effort, although obviously that cannot be said at all given times, although generally Scourge only against Mutalisks is just suicide nowadays. There's a lot of Scourge though, and 815, ooh, looks like he's just going to attack them, and he should be doing a little bit of a better job, to be absolutely honest, with his anti-Scourge micro, because usually that is, you know, top-notch for every pro out there. Even Hyuk can do it pretty well. And there comes Mutas from 815. Is he going to be able to get... Alright, he is engaging the Scourge. He's got his own Scourge. Odin's doing a good job of picking them off. Also, neither player's landed any so far. 815 with a larger number of Mutas, but also there's more Scourge chasing him, so he has to be careful here. Wow, nice sniping there from 815. I think 815 has taken the advantage here in this air battle. Yeah, he definitely has. This is what I mean about Scourge being useless. Odin is almost out of this game at this point. Odin looks like he is not going to be able to build enough air here. GG coming from Odin. Quick end to Zerg versus Zerg. Despite the relatively slow wind-up to it. 815 taking it pretty easily because of one decision. Odin deciding to go for Lings instead of air first. Or I guess instead of all Mutalisks, he chose to go Lings and Scourge. And generally, in modern ZVZ, that's actually not the winning idea unless you have a substantially faster build or a substantially larger army. Because in a mirror build like this, switching at the last minute is not going to be enough of a deviation. He simply could not amass enough lings to do the damage needed, and 815 takes the game pretty easily afterwards because Scourge just don't work that well by themselves anymore. It's not like the good old days back when Scourge actually killed mutas on their own. But no, that never happens now. You really need mutas to help you with that. Anyway, it looks like KTF is up 2-0. We're going to be seeing Great versus... I'm not sure who it is his opponent's going to be. We're going to see in the next game, though. Let's move on. Thanks for watching.